I got this copy of Battletoads Double Dragon on the Sega Genesis. This is obviously used, very used. It was a Blockbuster rental at one point. There's tons of what's left of the Blockbuster rental sticker all over it. So a lot of residue that I'm going to clean up. I'm going to show you how to clean up the shell. I'll show you also how to clean up the connecting pin. A lot of people just use rubbing alcohol or a one-up card, I think is what it's called. But I have a couple other tricks, and yeah, I'm hoping this video turns out good because I've never made a tutorial before. All right, so on the back of these, they have like a game bit. You'll need to get a set of bit drivers. This is the one I used, but I got it a long time ago. I got this on Amazon for like $10 or something. Comes with like various bits. It doesn't come with as much stuff as I have in here. This is just kind of shit that I've thrown in here over the years and kind of collected. But yeah, so I can tell you right now, the other screw is behind this sticker. So let's see if I can kind of poke through that. I'm just gonna guess where it's at. Get that kind of exposed. And these are very easy to strip. When I'm undoing these, I'll lay what I'm working on down on a flat surface as opposed to like, I guess you can do it either way, but you want to push a lot of force. Like not like every bit of strength you have, but like you want to push down while you're twisting, because if you hear it kind of like popping, then that's actually slipping on the threads of the screw, because these are garbage. I hate these screws. You want to grab a little tray to keep up with your screws. I'm gonna try and see if I can cut through this sticker, because this sticker is intense. See, I don't want to scratch it. Let's see here. Okay. But this is kind of what more or less what I want to show. And actually the pins look a lot better than I thought they did. Maybe someone did clean this already. No matter how high of a percentage of alcohol you get, there is water content inside of it. I don't like to spray the entire thing unless I have to, but I like to dip the Q-tip into the alcohol, and I'll set this over here because I'll knock it over. Like, you've seen this a million times, right? I haven't even tested this cartridge. I used to just like get a cartridge in and pop it straight into my console, but the problem with that is if they are dirty and you don't see something, you'll end up putting dirt inside of your console. So this is the method everybody sees, and just by looking at it, it's probably gonna work. And the listing did say it did work. But let me show you something where I've learned, well, I learned it through my dad. So you can take a pencil eraser, because like a pencil eraser is actually like a micro abrasive. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So I will lay the board like this and then just go down each one. And I'm not putting a lot of force, dude. I'm just like literally I'm just like literally brushing it, like just enough to where I can feel like resistance. Now it will put like a rubbery residue, and you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see that on camera, but I've stopped here. You can see that it's kind of took the polish look off. This is kind of more if the cartridge is half working. I would say if the IPA works for you, you don't need to do this step. I'm just illustrating it for the video. And I think the rubbing alcohol is like, it works good, but it's not as strong as this. Like, but again, this is like if the rubbing alcohol doesn't work. Like, you don't need to do this step unless the pins are really corroded. Because what happens is when people like blow on these cartridges as kids, it's not the actual like hot air or whatever that makes them work. It's actually just them sliding in and out mechanically, like cleans the pins back and forth. So like blowing on them actually didn't do anything, but we all did it. I did it as a kid. I wouldn't recommend going back and forth with this, because this is kind of you know, I've never messed up any pins, but you know, just be really careful with it. Like, you don't need a lot of force. It's just literally, you're just kind of cleaning. Now, wipe the residue off, because it does leave like a rubbery kind of residue. Yeah, you can kind of see the rubber bits I'm getting off. That'll create issues if you don't clean it. So it's really important to clean up after the pencil eraser. The last thing, let me get this rubber off my desk. But the last thing that I like to use, let me zoom this back out, is contact cleaner, electrical contact cleaner. There's probably a better contact cleaner to use that's more dialed for like circuit boards and that kind of thing, but I haven't had any issues with this WD-40. But I do not want to spray the board itself again, so what I will do is lay something down and then spray my Q-tip. This is like if a cartridge is really bad. Let me zoom this back in. If a cartridge is really bad, so I'm gonna rub it real quick, and then I'm curious if it'll show anything pop up. You can can you see that? Like, after all that I did, it's still finding dirt. It's still pulling stuff off. If you use the eraser and then wipe it with rubbing alcohol and then the contact cleaner, I swear, this is an absolute way of, like, for sure getting these things to work. Let me show you again. Actually, I'm gonna do the front side again. And this stuff, this contact cleaner is kind of expensive. I'm out here in California, so everything's expensive, but it's running about, I think, $12 or $13 a can. It's very expensive stuff, but you don't need a lot, so it does last a really long time. I've had the can I just had on camera for months now, and you don't need to follow up with alcohol after this. This is actually better than rubbing alcohol for like metal contact pins, and I haven't had any issues with it like melting plastic. But it's kind of one of those things where if you don't have to expose something to, you know, a harsher chemical, then, you know, why risk it, you know, like. But it's supposed to be safe on plastic, so it shouldn't be any issue with that. If I catch it in the light, you can kind of see how, like, clean these are. And don't, like, you don't have to go crazy. Like, if you see, like, little imperfections in the metal, like you see, like, kind of down here, and you see those imperfections, don't go crazy, like, trying to get rid of those. You're just trying to get the pin surfaces clean, because that's just over years, either the manufacturing or like from being used. Like, because each time you slide this in and out, it's like mechanically connecting to, obviously, to the console. So you don't have to go insane like trying to make it perfect, because once you screw it all back together, you're not going to really see it anyway. And I will test this at the end of the video, but this should be like, I mean, this is like ready to go. I think it was working to begin with, and they look like they cleaned it pretty good. I was able to get some stuff off, but not much, not much. What you want to do is, if you get one that's not clean, you'll get these like black spots. I can't show you because this, yeah, kind of like that. Like, you see how it's black right there? So you get black spots from like wiping the corrosion off. You just want to keep going until the cotton swabs come out clean. And here I have the shell. I don't have the screws in it. I think it's easier to get to everything with it in half like this. There's two ways of getting the adhesive off. One is heat, and the other that I like to use a little better is actually cooking oil, or like a vegetable oil, canola oil, something like that, because a petroleum-based oil can actually break down the plastic. It's not very likely if you're using like a silicone oil. For getting stickers and stuff off, I prefer the cooking oil, to use cooking oil. And you can use a hair dryer and heat these up. You can also use hot water, but that's going to be hard for me to film and show, so I'm just going to do the cooking oil method to loosen the glue. You can also use Goo I just don't have any. Goo like a chemical that you can get tree sap off of cars and stickers off of cars with. That will also work, and that's perfectly safe on plastics. Or I haven't had an issue, unless they've changed it recently. I haven't had an issue with it before. The canola oil, like any kind of cooking oil, I wouldn't use olive oil. It has a very strong smell to it. Like any kind of like natural vegetable oil is safe on plastic, and then on top of that it'll loosen the glue. The heating method with like a hair dryer will work. The thing I don't like is plastic is very like, this is very thin plastic. I absolutely love the Sega Genesis. It is probably like one of my top 3 consoles of all time. The console itself and the game shells are not nearly the quality of Nintendo, I hate to say. They are very fragile. So this is a very fragile like ABS plastic shell. So I do not want to use the heat on this. I would try and save this sticker, but I've actually got reprints, and I've got a couple stores I'm going to link in the description, because not that I'm sponsored or anything. This is just like what I found on the internet and what I like, and these guys are based in the US, so kind of support local businesses. Let me get some cooking oil and I'll be right back. I'm actually kind of dreading this glue from this. Like I said, I've never dealt with this glue on this Blockbuster sticker. And notice I didn't pour a lot. You're not going to need a lot. But we're just going to wipe this on, and then we're going to let it sit. How long? I don't know yet. Again, also, you won't want to do this if you wanted to save the sticker. That's very important. When a sticker is gone like this, I don't care, dude. I'm gonna replace the sticker with a reproduction label. Like, I don't get really caught up on reproduction labels and all that. So I'm just gonna replace it with a new label. This will ruin your label though. If you're trying to save your old label, this will ruin it. So just bear that in mind. I'm gonna let this sit for, I don't even know, but the longer you let it sit, the easier it will come off. And you don't have to do everything in one pass. Like when I come back and if it starts like giving me trouble, which for sure it is, because this is very sticky glue on these Blockbuster stickers. The label I'm not worried about. The label will come up pretty easy. But yeah, you can do multiple passes of this. So if it's giving you trouble again, just wipe off what you can. You don't have to like bear down on this. This is like a patience game. So it's the next day. I wasn't planning on waiting this long. Something came up and I had to stop. But let me see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been like a full 12 hours almost. Shit. I'm trying not to scratch the plastic. I knew this glue was going to be tough because it's obviously meant to not come off because it was a rental and they want people to not take it off. Not to mention it's been on there for probably 30 years at this point. Jeez. That's brutal. I might have to show the hot water thing, hot water treatment. Yeah, there's like some sort of metallic bar. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you can see that, this line right here. Some sort of metallic bar. You can see it's working though, like it's trying to. The labels normally work with this method, but that Blockbuster sticker's a different animal for sure. Just trying to soak this a little bit more. It's making a mess on my desk. Yeah, see how easy that came off? See that? I might have to leave this for more time then. It's trying to get it. It's just so on there. It's just a ridiculously strong sticker. What's that? Some dirt or something? I think I'm gonna set up my camera in the kitchen and film the hot water technique, because like I said, this has been on there for 12 hours. The canola oil is working, but it's taking a long time. So what I did is I screwed the shell back together. To be clear, there is no circuit board in here, so do not put your complete cartridge under water in the sink. I'm just screwing it back together, so when I run hot water over this, I don't get any warping in the plastic or anything. Hopefully that kind of helps with it. I'm not gonna run it under like the maximum heat, but I'm gonna get it hot enough to where it kind of loosens the glue up. And see, the oil trick does work. See, it's coming off really clean. This is very oily right now, so I'll show you how to get that off. I would recommend using something plastic. Anything metal or anything besides plastic is gonna scratch this. So I'm gonna try some Dawn power wash. You can use any dish soap. Dish soap works really good for getting oils off of plastics and cleaning up, because you know it's made to get grease off of food dishes and stuff. So I'm just gonna get it on there severally. But yeah, this like little metal strip right here, that thing is on there, dude. That thing is really on there. I just turned the water up real hot. I don't like running the water this hot, but this is really on here. Oh, there it goes. See that? Nice. I've got most of it off. I'm gonna put some more canola oil on it. All right, so I have more oil on this little makeup removing cloth, and then I'm gonna let this sit. It's almost there though. I'm hoping I didn't scratch it up on this area where I was going back and forth, but it was just really on there. It's been like an hour. Let's see if I can get some more of this off. Yeah, let me see what's going on with this. God, I got the water like scalding hot. It's really, really tough glue. Let's see if you can kind of see. See, there's like a spot there. It's coming up though. It's really cleaning up. Wow, I can't believe how much this is cleaning up. Can you see that? It's cleaning up really good, actually. I know this looks like a toilet brush. It's not. It's for dishes. It looks like a toilet brush though, but it's actually really nice to wash dishes with. The back is coming up easier than I thought it would. There's still some. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it off, and I'm going to soak it again with the canola oil. Again, like vegetable oil and canola oil, so it'll both work. Goo probably would work better. Alright, it's been another 40 minutes. I'm determined to finish this up. This is the third time I've soaked oil on it. My gosh, it's still on there. I can still tell there's glue on there. It's about off though. God. There's a lot of glue still in these like crevices though. But man, it's close. It looks like I didn't, like thankfully I didn't really scratch the edges. You'll be able to see it when I get back to my desk with my lighting, but it looks good, honestly. Yeah, let me try and scrape this last bit. All right, I think I can get back to my desk with better lighting and continue on with this project. I think I've got the edges good. Can you see that? Doesn't feel sticky. Probably gonna use some rubbing alcohol on it. All right. This thing was nasty. There's still some glue on it. Okay, that came off. Look at that. You can see a little bit in the camera. Let me go ahead and break it back apart, because I probably need to clean these screws off now. And I want to get this dry on the inside, because I don't want moisture corroding those micro traces. There's a little bit of oil in here. I don't know, I guess I should get that out. It really isn't gonna hurt anything. See, like with the screws, I'll do like this. And if they're corroded, like if the heads are corroded, you can put a little bit of canola oil and cooking oil, and you can polish the heads of the screws that way too. Like you just put a little dab on here and then go back and forth like that. If you need more pressure, lay your microfiber out like that on the table, and then you grab your screw, and then you can go back and forth like that. And then that'll polish the screws up really well too. But for right now, we'll put them back in our little cup so we don't lose them. I'm just going back over and checking my work more or less. And I've got the reproduction label I'm about to put on. That is beautiful, actually. I'm really surprised how good this is coming. You know what? Maybe the stickers protected it from scratches over the years. But look at that. That's crazy. So this is just rubbing alcohol in a little, I guess a spritzer bottle. I don't know what you call this. Get it nice and soaked, because it was pretty oily, and the sticker will not stick. Yeah, this has to be like, it's still not quite there, but this has to be really, really clean. Otherwise your new label will start peeling up, especially right here on Sega Genesis. The labels are really bad about peeling up. And it's back together. I think I'm about ready to put the board back in, but I do want to clean these little screw holes out to make sure that we're not leaving crap in these little holes, because then that can like trickle down into your circuit board. Maybe, I don't know. Let's just not take chances. Let's just clean it. Yeah, look at these. Look how awesome this is gonna look. You can see what I'm going for. So this, from where we started, you can see, like, with a little bit of time and effort, what things are gonna come out to be. Now, let me get this label on straight though. This chip goes down. Really, you can't put it, they have it to where you won't be able to assemble it the wrong way. But it should just slide together. See how like that took no force? Like I'm not having to force anything. It just falls right into place. That's what you want. I'm just gonna drop these back in. So what I'm doing is I'm rotating the screw counterclockwise. because what that's doing is it allows me to find the existing threads in the plastic. Because this plastic is like 30 years old at this point, you don't want to, I don't like to cut new threads into the plastic, so I'll actually turn my screwdriver backwards. And then when I hear that click, and you can feel it too, when I feel that click, I'll go back in. And I don't have to get this, like, you don't want to crank this like super tight. Dude, just like snug it up, and then that's it. You hear that clicking? And then you're ready to screw it back in. As soon as it clicks, just screw it back in. And there you go. And it's gonna creak and stuff. That's fine. I mean, you're not gonna get it super tight. But that's a really good trick. That backward screw trick is a great trick for anything electronics and any kind of screws going into plastics. That's a good thing to do. That's one of my favorite things to do. Here's my reprint stickers. Now, I'm gonna link these in the description. I don't get any kickbacks from this. This is just, I bought multiple labels from the seller. I think it's Vintage Arcading, but I'll make sure I get the name right in post editing and in my descriptions. But I've got two of them here because I'm gonna put one on this cartridge, and then I'm gonna show you an alternate solution. If you didn't want to do all that work that I just did, you could also just get a reproduction shell. And these are sick. This guy makes them, he molds and presses these in the United States. Here's his store page on eBay. Super nice guy, super responsive. I want to put the label on the original cartridge first because I'm trying to show like the juxtaposition between, you know, where it started and where it ended, and to give you an idea of what you can do if you pick up, because you can pick up some of these games like cheap if they're in, you know, rough shape, and then you can bring them back to glory. Hopefully I can get this right because I didn't buy extras, so whatever comes of it happens. Let's just see if I can get this right, hopefully. So I'm just gonna start it. All right, so I have it to this point. What I'm gonna do is actually like hold this and then brush it downward, right? And then for the end, to roll this on instead of doing it with my finger, because I can't cover that whole area at once, I'm gonna pull down and roll up. And I'm gonna do that a couple times. And then I'll brush my finger across the bottom and the top. And dude, that came out perfect. Now I'm gonna screw it up on the other one because I got this one so perfect. But dude, look at that. I am blown away that it came out like that. Hopefully I got all the oils off and this doesn't peel up, but you know what? It doesn't really matter, because if it does peel up, I'll buy another $5 sticker and I'll do it again. That's just part of the process. You'll make mistakes, but you will never learn by not doing, so you have to just kind of jump in and try things. I'm just like blown away. I'm blown away by this. So now, if you don't want to invest all that time in cleaning up a shell, you can get a reproduction shell. It's really cool because I've already done a Vectorman cart like this, and I'm going to do the same thing. But first, because I don't want to try and put the label on without having it all screwed together, because I don't want the cartridge to shift or something while I'm meticulously trying to put the label on. Let's get the circuit board back out. Remember to use our cup to put the screws in so we don't lose them, as I almost did. So now we can take our board back out. And it's gonna look so sick. And now let's put it in here. Yeah, there we go. See, it's all lined up. It's not like cockeyed or anything. Like, the circuit board's in there correctly and everything just kind of fits into place. You don't want to force anything. So when we are going to screw these in, we're going to be creating new threads. And you're going to want to put a lot of force downward. Not like your entire body weight, but you're going to want to start cutting the threads. But you're going to want to do like a quarter each time and then back out. And what that's doing is that's allowing you to kind of piecemeal the threads, because it is kind of like if you just go straight down, it kind of stresses the plastic in a way. But this like allows the screw and whatever material it's cutting off to like kind of move and shift all the way down. So yeah, I can't move it. I don't want to go any tighter, especially with transparent plastic. Seems to be a little bit more fragile in my experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this screw back out, and then I'll cut the threads on this side. So when I put these other two screws in, they'll be clean, because if I, you know, kind of strip the head, it will look uglier. And what I will probably ultimately do is put these original screws back in to give it like an even cleaner look. But for the time being, let's go ahead and get this other one cut. So I'm gonna drop it in over here. Oh, see all the plastic that's come off from cutting the threads? You can take your microfiber and just kind of wipe that off. It won't be really hard to get off. See? And now we're not introducing all that debris into the new hull, and that'll give us the best chances we have of creating some clean threads. So let me do the same thing. I'm pushing down, kind of doing a quarter turn at a time, and then back out, and just cutting all the way down. It's really hard to show this on camera, so I'm sorry if like I'm trying to make this make sense, you know. These game bit heads really suck ass in my opinion. They just make it very easy to strip. And it's probably my cheap tool set. I need to get some nice tools. For the time being, I'm just going to use the existing screws now, because they should be the same pitch of threads. They look the same. So actually, let me take some duster. Get all that out. Cool. You see how I use my same trick again? You see how I found those existing threads? Now I'm stripping these again. All right, watch. Can you hear that clicking? Now, as soon as it clicks, you can screw it. And let me get a little bit of rubbing alcohol in here. So it feels very like the sticker's gonna really connect with that. So what I'm doing when I'm kind of pre-aligning it, and this clear cartridge is gonna be harder to do it on, but I'm kind of seeing like the overlap of where the sticker goes. So when I'm about to place my label, I kind of know how much space to put on either side with the bezel. You don't have to get this like perfect. Like like I didn't do my Vectorman cartridge perfect, so you know, don't like stress about it either. But you know, like try to get it right. And again, you can order more than one label to get it your best chances possible. And then if you get it right on the first shot, then you can just keep it in the future for an extra cartridge. But let me try and get this one good like I did the last one. It's very finicky. All right, so now I'm gonna like pull down, remember like I did last time. And then for the top, I'm gonna pull down and roll up. Let me repeat that. I'll come across with my finger. And hell yeah, dude. I got that one good too. Like, that looks so sick. Like, this is like unbelievably sick. So you can either do like just a relabel, which is obviously the cheaper option, or these reproduction shells. They're really nice. Either way, you can't go wrong. I mean, from where we started at, you know, like, I would happily display either one of these. They just look absolutely sick. I'm really actually conflicted on putting it back in this black case just because of where it came from. I really like the green, obviously, for the same color as the toads, the Battletoads. But like, this is like so satisfying. Like, to take something that looks like trash and then to, you know, bring it back to glory, you know, I guess it's just all about perspective. Like, you know, I could play the way it looked before, as long as I know that mechanically it's good, you know, and clean. But I just think this is a really cool way of, you know, being kind of creative too, is pick out a color. You could also do red, you know, whatever. He's got the guy that makes these shells has a lot of options, and I think he's adding more. Don't quote me on that, but he is a one-man show from what I can tell, and so, you know, just be patient with him. He's not like a big mass production thing like you would get from China, and these shells are much nicer than what you get in China. Yeah, I'm going to link these labels. This is an excellent seller. He's been really easy to work with. He didn't actually have this Double Dragon label, and he was able to make this for me. So I bought, he'll make about 10 at a time. But yeah, I couldn't find this label. So, you know, I bought about 5 labels from him at this point for different games, and they've all been stellar. They're more vibrant than the originals. So, you can tell that it's a label reprint because the quality is actually better. But for what I'm doing, and kind of like, you know, I like to buy things in kind of cruddy condition and then bring them back. I just think this is like a cool way of approaching things, to where, you know, you can look at something and know you completely turned it around, and then I don't know. To me, it's more meaningful. Maybe that's stupid. I don't know. But y'all take care. This video's gone long enough. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's beating my ass. Oh my god. There we go. Get out of here.